With winter fast approaching, it's time to buckle down and get our off-grid property prepared. But a few close calls this week have us on edge as we race to get ready for our propane tank delivery.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh, I made a huge mistake.
Okay, the fire is spreading.
Hey, and welcome back to Ambition Strikes. We're at our off-grid property here in North Idaho where fall is here and it's time to clean this place up. We have a ton of slash piles just like the one behind me left over from our big road project. It is a beautiful day. Courtney should be home any minute and I'm looking forward to putting this chipper to work.
Babe, I found a chipper!
What in the world? Well, this should be fun. Where on earth did you find that thing? This is a 6.5 horsepower, 2-in-1 shredder and chipper that's advertised to do up to 3-inch diameter branches.
This is a 49 horsepower cat diesel auto feed chipper that can handle up to 10-inch round logs. Can we chip something now?
Fuel on, start. Woo! Now we're running. All right, quick, easy startup. Okay, so it says small brush and leaves only up here. Woo! The leaves are gone. All righty, first stick. Whoa! That actually looked way better than I expected it to look. 1-inch stick. My first impressions are that it's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Look at this chips he made. As far as how long it would take me to chip that entire pile, considering that I can only fit about 7 or 8 of those pieces in my chipper, I'd be done with my part pretty quick.
Does this mean it's my turn?
I think it's your turn.
Anyone home? You might want to get out of there. I'll give it to Riley. His chipper is a lot quieter than mine.
But Courtney's clearly gets a lot more done. Now that we know that both chippers work, we're gonna get started working on cleaning up the area right around the shop. I just got a very exciting call that we've been moved off the wait list for a 1,000-gallon propane tank, but we only have 2 days to get ready for the installation. Our plan is to put that propane tank right here where all these offcuts and slabs from milling our lumber are located, so we've got a lot of work to do. Let's get started.
It is one of my favorite days of the year because it is burn day.
Over the last few years of starting burn piles, we've tried all sorts of different ways to start them, including an irresponsible amount of diesel. And honestly, Courtney's way of using firewood is the best way.
This is a pretty dry pile. I think it's been sitting almost a year, so it should go up pretty quickly, but hopefully not too quickly. Thank you. Usually our burn piles are really green because we're burning what we just cut down. I think this is the first seasoned pile we've burnt.
It's been maybe 10 minutes since Courtney lit that. It is already huge.
Okay, the fire is spreading. Riley's grabbing the IBC tote and the water. This is not great. That's the IBC tote. And I'm gonna grab the pump, the power for the pump. I brought Oliver in the shop, and he's very safe and content right now.
Oh boy. Okay, well, it's not spreading quickly, but it's definitely not comforting.
Power? Okay. Gosh, it's hot over here.
Right now I'm feeling thankful for our shallow well and having water here on site to put out emergency fires that we did not anticipate.
What are the first 3 thoughts that went through your mind?
My first thought was the baby. So I ran and I put him in the shop where I knew he would be safe. My second thought was water or excavator. And my third thought was, this isn't good.
Next project on the list is to get all these offcuts from milling out of here because they're in our way. And we decided that the best way to do that is to run them through the chipper. These already don't have branches and needles and all of that. They're just wood and bark, and they're gonna make great chips. This chipper has an auto feed function that basically monitors the engine RPM and then automatically feeds the wood. So here's the engine RPM start dropping because the engine's overloaded. It pulls the feedback, lets the engine catch back up again, and then feeds again, which makes it really nice because I can just put a big chunk in there and then walk away. I don't have to sit there and constantly mess with the in and out feed on the automatic feed.
Oh gosh.
Over the last 3 years, Courtney and I built a DIY truck camper, created our off-grid home from scratch, built snow tracks, a giant army truck snowblower, completed a massive road project, and so much more. I'm a dreamer and I love cooking up the next big idea, and let me tell you, I have some massive ideas for 2024. But to make them happen, I'm gonna need your help. My dream is to hit 1 million subscribers by the end of next year. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it certainly wasn't built with a bulldozer. But when we hit 500,000 subscribers, I'm gonna take my massive D8 bulldozer and smash it through our abandoned homestead cabin. What could possibly go wrong? We're not very far from 500K, so how can you help? It's free and easy. Hit that little button down there to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed to our channel, then share it with somebody else and encourage them to subscribe. And drop it in the comments below. What should we do when we hit 1 million subscribers? I'm excited and I hope you are too.
Good morning. Well, the good news is that as you can see with a light on in the apartment up there, the power has not gone out yet. The bad news is that our off-grid power system is down to just 7% battery. And there's no sun in the forecast for the next couple of days, which means that it's time to fire up the generator for the first time this winter. Next up, check the oil. Looks good.
This is also the last of the diesel that we have here. Doesn't have glow plugs, it doesn't have a grid heater, it doesn't have a block heater, but so far it's always started. Batteries are dead. So despite being on the charger overnight, the batteries are still dead, which means it's time for new batteries. But I'm gonna go get the jumper pack so we can get this thing fired up and get our system charging. And she's on. Step one, once it's turned on, is to turn up the throttle until we get to 60 hertz. Here in the US, we use 60 hertz power. The second step from then is to dial in the voltage to 240 volts. Once those two have stabilized, we can flip the breaker on to connect the generator to the inverters. The inverters will start drawing power. As that power ramps up, usually the frequency drops and I have to throttle the machine up more and get it back up to 60 hertz. In that process, the voltage also fluctuates, so then I have to dial the voltage back into 240 again to ensure that we're supplying our inverters with the right power, because if either the frequency or the voltage varies too far from the acceptable amount, the inverters will automatically disconnect so that we don't harm any appliances or equipment in our house or in our solar shed. Welcome to the brains of the operation. This is our off-grid power system. These are the batteries. These store DC 48 volt power to then supply the inverters. These turn that DC power into AC power that we can use in our household using regular household appliances. This is the solar charge controller. This takes the power from the solar panels and converts it into 48 volt DC to then charge these batteries. Not only are these inverters capable of supplying AC power to our house, they're also capable of charging the batteries. So right now we have the power coming from the generator piped into these inverters. These inverters are then charging the batteries with that power so that we can store it and use it later. That allows us to run this generator for far less time than if we were trying to use it to power our home. We can run that generator at about 80% of its maximum capacity for about 5 hours and get a complete full charge on these batteries, which will then last us for a couple of days. So you can see here that we're currently at 16% of our battery capacity and we're charging at 13,975 watts. It's early, I haven't had my coffee yet, so now that the generator's up and running, I'm gonna go do my morning routine.
Good morning. I would say that the weather did a bit of a 360 since yesterday, but actually this rain is much welcome because I think it means we can be less worried about lighting the hill on fire.
It's pretty amazing how quickly a fire can get rid of a giant pile of slash.
We need to get that pile clear today because the propane tank is coming tomorrow. And unfortunately, we're in a little bit of a pickle because we are almost out of diesel. So we're going to keep chipping, we're going to keep burning, and we're going to see how much we can get done. Hopefully all of it, because that's the only option.
I really don't want to have to go all the way back to town just to get fuel, so I've parked the tires up on some firewood to get the truck at an angle, and hopefully I can get at least another 5 gallons out of that transfer tank. Pump on. Oh, we're in business.
Oh my gosh,
Nope,
Riley.
here's the other one. Okay. Cancel that plan. All right, the plan is to divide and conquer and get this job done quickly so we can move on to the rest of the project. I'm gonna get the chipper fired up so we can start feeding it. Then I'm gonna get a full grapple full, throw that on the fire so we can divide and conquer and get this project finished up.
And just like that, the last scoop is going on the fire.
just think it's so funny. Like, we'll have a mission in mind on this project, which is to get all this cleaned up so we can get ready for our propane tank. But when we have a burn pile going, Courtney just can't help herself but to want to clean up other parts of the property. And I just caught her over here on the side of the hill with a pole saw. Does this have anything to do with getting ready for a propane tank?
No, but I'm getting ready for winter.
What does this have to do with getting ready for winter?
No. I didn't like the ugly branches. And I have a way to get rid of them right now. It always looks easier in my mind.
Your tree looks much nicer.
Thank you. I love burning, but one downside to burning is that the fire kind of needs to be babysat. So one of us is going to have to be here for the next couple days till this is completely out. But look at how satisfying this is.
Uh-oh. So Courtney went to town to run a few errands, and I've been working around here with the skid steer, getting things cleaned up, getting this pad prepped and leveled for our propane tank. And, well, I made a huge mistake. Not the spot I want an 11,000 pound machine to be dangling. So I've been trying to get the drainage sloped right up here, and I needed to get a big rock out of my way, and well, something slipped underneath me, and next thing I knew, skid steer's like this. The more I try to back it out, the worse it gets. I'm gonna need to hook up a winch and try to drag it up backwards. Cancel that plan. We have an excavator. What am I thinking? Why did I instantly go to I need to get the winch? I need to get the excavator. Crisis averted. And Courtney will never know until she goes to edit this footage. So here's the plan. I've kind of cut in this drainage swale that goes from over behind our shed all the way down. It's gonna cross right here, where then it heads down the hill into the ditch that then runs around the backside of our containers. Now I'm working on getting the site for the propane tank level, and we're gotten to the point in the project where my eyes are starting to play tricks on me. So I've got the laser set up over there by the chipper. We're gonna see what's going on. Okay, drainage swell looks good. We just need to get the pad a little closer to level. The propane tank pad is level. It's ready for gravel, which means that our job here for the day is done. That leaves one last task in our getting ready for winter prep, which is tilting our solar array. Our solar array right now is in the summertime mode, which means it's about 30 degrees, and then we tip it to the 60-degree wintertime mode. That serves two purposes. One, it gets our solar panels more perpendicular to the sun, which is lower in the horizon during the wintertime here. And two, it also makes our array steeper, which helps it shed the snow. It is just that easy. We're coming into our second winter with this solar array, and we made an entire video detailing how this system performed last winter. If you want to see that video, check out the link in the description below. Today we're installing a generator. Step 3, we hit run. Good.